Ladies and gents, welcome back to another video. I am GGJ. How you doing? Right, today on Real Talk, we finally get to talk about PCL. Now, as I move forward, here we go. I made a bit of a mistake. Basically, I was supposed to talk about PCL, do some recaps and stuff on it and whatnot, but I haven't had chance to do it. I haven't had time to do it because of all the other videos and all that other stuff. On the Paladinscentral League channel, this is where this is going to go. This isn't a Real Talk. This is the Paladinscentral recap. So, let's get on with it. So, as you can see, Paladinscentral, let's have a look at the team standings. Now, after week 3, Skitlight are top of the board with 280 points. Second is Cyclone GG, 245 points. Asterix and Brutal Fisher. These guys battled it out in 3rd or 4th place this week to find out who could take the points, because those two are battling for the points for that position. Asterix won 2-1. Team Aggression are closing the gap, though. They're sitting at 105 points. Down from that is Team Divji, which were formerly known as High Five QQ, the French team. Deadly Shadows sadly have disbanded, but they're still up there in 90. Wildstyle are looking to be taking that point, that place off of them. They've been doing really well, Wildstyle. They've had a bit of a bad run of luck at the minute, well, as of late, but they are catching up, and that's something that's nice to see. WSD, man, if you've ever been unlucky in a bracket, WSD have had the worst run of luck. It's either been Skitlight or Cyclone first game, and like they're a tier above the rest, right? Excuse me. Skitlight have managed to beat Burrito, so you think to yourself, right, okay, you know, there's an issue. You know, it's just bad luck. WSD basically just had bad luck in the run. If we scroll down from there, though, let's keep going down. We're at 10th and 11th, Elysium. Now, these guys, again, they came in last in week 2, and then they had to fight off against Cyclone. They lost to Cyclone, so they went out first round. So, obviously, these were a filler team that have come into the tournament like a week behind, so they've got a struggle. NSF, we love these guys. NSF are such a friendly bunch of players. A pleasure to work with. And you know what? They're starting to get up. You know, they're bringing the points up. They're grinding the weeks out, and they get them mid-table now, or lower table, but they're out of the relegation, which is this last 2 spots here. The OP have indeed disbanded, but Orcs disbanded as well. Transact disbanded as well. So these guys, not, you know, they've been put in, but whoever comes up against them in the first round get a bye. Warbringers haven't disbanded, they just haven't been able to participate. So of course whoever comes up against them get a first bye, but they do collect their 10 points. And down there is where Surets and God Will Kill. This week, still undecided. There's split between the MVP. That's why it hasn't been announced yet. But the winner of this week will be getting week 3, we'll be getting this. This is a Razer, brand new Razer Mantis mouse pad. Lots of them to give away. We got all the stock in prior to PCL starting. We've got mouses, mice, headsets, gaming keyboards, gaming mice, and stuff like that to be doing for giveaways and stuff like that for, you know, the MVP sort of awards. So let's go back up to the top of the table, and we'll give you a rundown of what this team is and what they've done. So Skitlight, top of the board, 280 points. Now, they were formerly known as Moose Esports or Moose Sports, whichever you want to call it. They got picked up by the organization Skitlight. Now, Skitlight is a professional organization that has offices in 3 different countries, one in Europe somewhere, one in the UK, and one in Northern Ireland. Cyclone GG, well known for picking up Xbox Smite team, and of course they had a SPL team as well at one point. I do believe that was last season in the SPL. Don't quote me on that, I'm not sure, but I know they had an SPL team at some point. Asterix Gaming picked up a brand new roster. You've got Smutney in there, you've got Michaela in there, God Will Kill. God Will Kill was week 1 MVP, first ever MVP of the PCL, so congratulations to him. And they are looking incredibly strong. And you know what? They're trying to battle for top 3 within the team standings in the league. Now, if we come down, Brutal Fisher. Now, these guys, like they're making improvements each week, but they're a little bit behind Asterix Gaming. 130 points they're sitting at. Asterix Gaming sitting at 155, so these two are going to be battling constantly for that third and fourth place spot. At the moment, Asterix Gaming has their number, but Brutal Fisher, make no mistake about it, they'll be coming back nice and strong in week 4. Now, as we scroll down, Team Aggression. Now, these guys have been struggling a little bit. Great team, phenomenal team, but they have been struggling. They've been struggling to get the points, getting mid-tier, you know, maybe the round of 8, maybe semi. I don't think they've made a semi-final yet. Definitely a team in the past that, you know, shoe up in the ESLs, shoe up in the EV's Winter Classic and stuff like that. But at the moment, here in the PCL, with the caliber of teams we had, they are struggling. So if we move down into 6th place now, we see Team Divji. Is it Divji or Divs? Team Divji, formerly known as High Five QQ, a French team. You know what? And another thing is the French community are very strong within the Paladin scene. That's really good to see. But yeah, Divji, a French team, I do believe, or majority of. And, you know, they've been coming out, putting in constant results as well. They had, in the first week, they had a very bad bracket where they couldn't get past, like, I do believe it was Asterix. Asterix just walked them in a quick 2-0. But, you know, they've been putting in results now, making it into mid-tier bracket. As we move down, 7th place, Deadly Shadows, or they used to be called Respawn. Then they went to Deathly Shadows. They basically, the team disbanded and went to other teams. In fact, some of the other players from Deadly Shadows are now in Aggression. Because Deadly Shadows basically didn't have 3 core members to, and then they went to Team Aggression. They didn't take 3 members. They basically can't keep Deadly Shadows points. Not that it matters, Aggression are above them anyway. Wildstyle, as we spoke before. Now, there's 2 organizations that I know of that are vying to pick up Wildstyle. So it goes to show that Wildstyle have a lot to offer. Now, there's, at the end of the video, once we get through this, I want to talk about how orgs are coming into the scene and why they're coming into the PCL, and I'll explain that after the video. So Wildstyle looking incredibly strong. They're sitting at 90 points. They are joint 6th, 7th, and 8th with Deadly Shadows, Divji, and Wildstyle. Obviously, Deadly Shadows, that will be dropped once we get there, and then all the teams that have basically disbanded get dropped right to the bottom of the table, and everybody else gets moved up. But as we come under, that is Unseen, another team, sadly. You know what? I was a fan of these guys. I was very sad to see these guys disband, but they got better offers from some of the players got better offers from the other teams, and they disbanded and went their separate ways, which happens in esports, as we know. Sad to see that. Nonetheless, WSD, a great organization. Again, this organization's actually massive. Peripheral org as well, where they've got their own manufacturer for like keyboards and headsets and mice and all that stuff. Another org that are doing the top 10. All right, technically they are top 10. Unseen, Deadly Shadows out, so they will be going up into that table or that higher tier of the bracket. So WSD looking really strong there. They're joint 9th. Technically, I think WSD should be above Unseen, but I don't know. I best check that with Alexa. She does all the calculations and that. Me, numbers and all that. That, and if I touch the website, I'll probably get a slap, so I won't. Then Elysium. I am becoming a massive fan of these guys, and I'm telling you what, these guys are looking freaking strong. Now, I've scrimmed against them personally. Fate have scrimmed them as well. Wow. This team is looking very strong. I'm really looking forward to when they finally get into one of that point where they're going to be taking on like the likes of Asterix and stuff like that, and to see how well they cope against Asterix. I've just realized I haven't been bringing it down. There we go. Sorry. So we're here. NSF, right? So non-stop feeding. These guys are a privilege to work with. They're always hyped to play. They know they can't beat the caliber of teams like the top 3 skit like that, but they don't care. They want to come in and play, and you know what? They're always happy. I've never seen a complaint from them. In fact, everybody, the amount of pluses on the ESL ladder these guys have got, because you know, if there's a problem, that they tell you like a week in hand. These guys are so fun to work with, and such an ease to work with as well. There's no hassles. They're a pleasure to work with. And you know what? I think if a coach was to come in for NSF and teach them the game to the point where, you know, they could put out strategies and tactics and execute strategies and tactics, these guys would actually be, you know, higher up, maybe into the top 10. Who knows? Orcs, by the way, I made a mistake with Orcs. They haven't disbanded. They just couldn't compete the week 2. But Orcs are looking very strong. They came out fighting this week. Sadly lost, but they're getting out. They're up out of the bottom 2, should we say. And we're on from there. So Transact. Now, Transact, I'm very disappointed about this. I'm very sad. Laren's team, man, they had such a great roster. Like, it was such a good roster. And, like, even, like, the likes of Smutney, Bozy, and these guys had tried out for these guys, for Transact, and nothing could come away with it. And, sadly, they disbanded. I'm really disappointed about that, because I was a fan of them guys. I thought, Laren, you know what, you've got your stuff together, you know how to run a team, and he was doing really, really well. When you attract those sort of names, like Smutney and that, he was a championship contender. So he played with the likes of Bonker and Laminate and all that, and Simsalo. So he tried out for Transact. I think I really wish Laren would have stuck with it. I know that it gets tiring when people say, no, I'm going to go with this team and stuff like that. That's esports. Keep going for it. Or pick a player, train that player to how your team works, make sure he fits in and stuff, and go from there. Might not necessarily be the best option, but if it's your only option, work with what you've got. Warbringers. Now, Warbringers have basically have been struggling to compete because they haven't had the roster, and the rule is you can have up to 2 subs, and if those subs can't come in, you can't compete for that week. And that's what's been happening with Warbringers. They've competed in 1 week where they didn't get past the first round, and the last 2 weeks, week 2 and week 3, they basically didn't have it. They couldn't fulfill a roster, so therefore they get stuck, and people that go up against them get a first round bye. And last but not least, the OP. Now, even I tried to keep these guys going. I even found them an organization to pick these guys up and train them, but the teams didn't want to, they couldn't accept the contracts and all that stuff, and they went elsewhere. Right. That is the standings of the OP, of the Paladinscentral League, held on Monday nights every Monday for 6 weeks at a time, 3-week break. Now to give you a bit of history on what PCL is. PCL is the Paladinscentral League, sponsored by Hi-Rez, and of course myself and Fate Media, my company. So what happens here is we have 6 weeks of tournament play, then we have a trading off period where people can swap rosters or stuff like that for 3 weeks, and then we go back to 6 weeks, right? Each split of a year is 15 tournament weeks, right? So you've got 15 weeks of tournament play, 3, 6, 9, 12 weeks of breaks in between. So that is your one split. We are coming up, we've got one more 6-week period come up for the spring-winter split. Then we move into the spring-summer, and then summer, autumn, autumn-winter, and vice versa. So what does the PCL offer in regards to money prizing? None at the moment. There won't be any money involved at the moment. What do the top 3 teams get? You will get certificates, you will get trophies at the end of each 6-week term, right? So trophies aren't nothing major or anything. I don't believe I've got one here. They're about the size, yay big, and people are going, yes, Jamie, because we can scale that, can't we? Okay, so what we want to do is make sure that you're winning something. You're getting something for participating. But every week, the top 3 get crystals rewards, which are sponsored by Hi-Rez. Thank you very much. 7,000 crystals up for grabs for the top 3 teams, and of course points, and of course MVP awards for the one person each week. One person wins 1 week, they can't win the following week, but can wait the week after. So basically, there's a chance to win a peripheral amount of stuff. My mouse pads, top quality gear, Razer and stuff. That's not cheap. It's costing a pretty penny to get it all here, and this is the type of things we're trying to give away for you guys. Also, we offer, if we go over, can I click that on that, or am I being, oh wow, it works like that. So that's the champions, this is all the champions and stuff. Let's click on home, 1 second, as it loads. So Paladinscentral presents, and then we scroll down. Oh, no, there we go. So you've got league rules. So all the league rules. League information here. League information on a day-to-day basis. Teams and their standings. So, and then you've got stream. So if I click here on the teams and standings, that's that. Now, I was under the impression that I could click one of these. So if I click on skip, what does that do? There we go. It takes you all the way to the that team's homepage and all the websites, you know, and all their sponsors and stuff like that. And this is Skitlight, of course. Now, basically, you know, this is what we've been trying to do. You know, we're here to promote sponsors, and this is what onto my next thing what I was going to mention. Why are sponsored and orgs coming to the PCL? Why? We offer them advertisement to a select audience, which is the Paladins community. Now, we have a serious amount of numbers now. The viewership's going up and up and up each week, and we're getting more people interested. The Paladins qualifiers quickly filling up as well, you know, and it's really good. And, you know, we've done exactly what we've wanted to do. We've got WSD in there, we've got Skitlight in there, Asterix in there, you know, Cyclone as well. We've got some really big names coming into the scene, and it's really helping out. Now, the initial idea was, I didn't want to do all this, you know, all the fancy stuff what we've done now, but the initial idea was to have, you know, all the mid to low level tier teams could compete against each other without going up against District 69 and, you know, Burrito, which, let's face it, you're not going to beat. And now we've formed a league that's, you know, actually a competitive league, and it's really good, and we have amazing games, not always 2-0s, we're getting 2-1s, and even the finals are sometimes going to the fifth and final game. And, like, for instance, our number one team at the minute is Skitlight, and Skitlight is taking games off Burrito, you know, the HRX world champions. So that just goes to show that, you know, teams are improving, the EU scene is looking incredibly strong. And the best news about all of this is we are now allowed to bring the PCL to different regions. The PCL will be coming to the Oceanic scene next. After that, I'm hoping to try and pick up some staff in the NA scene, but we know there's some other things behind the scenes going on for NA, you know, because obviously, you know, they didn't have many tournaments, so obviously we might not be going into the NA scene because we don't want to clutter the scene. Now, if you look at the EU scene, there's pretty much a tournament all the way along. However, PCL stands out from the rest. A, we offer crystal prizing. B, we offer MVP awards, trophies, and all the certificates that come with it. And of course, any orgs that want to come in, they contact Fate Media, and we say, hey, these are our teams, take a look what you think. We give them a rundown of what teams are doing how they're performing in other leagues like the ESL and stuff, and we give them all the backlinks so they can check them out. And there you go. Teams are being picked up left, right, and center. Really good for us, makes us look good. I'm happy, Alexa's happy, and when Alexa's happy, I'm happy because I don't get yelled at. So it's all good. So right, guys, thank you ever so much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. And of course, I will see you in the realm for the next time.